You're welcome to the marketplace. Here's what's coming up in the next 30 minutes. Majority of banking executives raise concern about the Bank of Ghana's proposed digital currency, according to accounting firm PwC's 2021 banking survey. We have details on this. Also, HR professionals in Ghana challenge themselves to adapt to current demands of work amid the COVID-19 pandemic. There is more as HR professionals graduate the Chartered Institute of HR Management with a chartered status.
Your training should stand you out as leaders and advisors and not followers. Your training should stand you out as leaders and advisors and not followers.
Plus, on day 2 of EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair, we'll put the spotlight on home accessories. We'll be live at the Accra International Conference Center, where the exhibition is underway. And later in the bulletin, we assess the impact of COVID on creative arts sector as we throw a spotlight on the sculpting and painting in our special feature.
There has been a dip, a slight dip. That is the honest truth. But there are issues to how the whole thing got dipped.
What are some of the issues?
19 is the main issue.
And we have more coming up shortly after this break. To stay with us.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Now, majority of banking executives are raising serious concern about the Bank of Ghana's proposed digital currency, which is set to be introduced next year. These concerns were captured in the PricewaterhouseCoopers 2021 banking survey on digital currencies. George Riafi has the rest of the story.
The flagship PricewaterhouseCoopers banking survey showed that 85% of all banking executives engaged in the 23 commercial banks had some issues with this e-currency. They maintain that there is still some lack of understanding and the associated infrastructure requirements about this whole project. These commercial banks were even worried about the potential demands that the regulator will place on them when it finally launches the ECD. There were also issues about the expected technology that will be used, as well as the funding requirements. The banking executives also believe that the regulator should be guided by the current growth of mobile money in the country before it rolls out the e-currency. The march talked about digital currency should be called ECD is expected to be rolled out on pilot basis before the end of this year. The Bank of Ghana is then looking forward to fully introduce it from next year. It is not clear for now how these concerns may influence the rollout plan of the Bank of Ghana.
Now, as Ghana's labour force gradually recovers from the shocks of COVID, HR professionals in the country are being tasked to adapt to high standards so as to leverage on best HR management practices. The Chief Executive of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ebenezer Agbeto, made these admonishments during the maiden conferral ceremony of 50 chartered members in Accra.
Chartered Human Resource Management practitioner, as enshrined in no mean charter. That is section 16, and I'm sure my lead consultant on the act will agree with me as I've quoted. In section 16, subsection 5 of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Ghana, Act 2020, Act 1020. So your title is backed by law. No mean achievement. No mean achievement. Give yourself a clap. That's right. On behalf of the National Governing Council, the Professional Certification Board, supervisors, evaluators, secretariat, I want to congratulate you all on your achievement. Well done. Are you cool? Clap for yourselves.
Well, we still stay with HR professionals because the Vice President of the Institute of Chartered HR Management, Leonard Kwakopomi, revealed that plans are advanced for the passage of a legislative instrument that will grant them a legal framework to operate.
Well, the law mandates us as an institution, as an institute, to regulate HR practice in Ghana. You cannot regulate something if there are no guidelines, if there are no standards. And so, as an institute, which is actually in the law, we are to set up standards for practice. And currently there is a committee that is doing that work. It is grinding slowly, but surely we are getting there. So we are currently developing HR standards for Ghana. And that is the standards that we are going to use as an institute to regulate the practice in this country. I can assure you that the standard is going to be, we are not going to lower the standard, it's going to be at international standards level. We are reviewing standards from other countries, other jurisdictions. We are indeed benchmarking with International Standards Organization, ISO.
Meanwhile, the guest speaker and CEO of the Ghana Investment and Securities Institute, Alexander Williams, has challenged HR professionals to be more innovative and influential in policies to make HR practice much more effective.
When the lockdown was effected under the Imposition Restrictions Act of 2020, Act 1012, was a dearth of leadership from HR practitioners. I very much expected that our members would take the initiative to advise management on how to charter the new area of responsibility instead of waiting to take instructions. The issues to do with leave, issues to do with staying at home, issues to do with equipment, you should have taken charge of those things. There were various issues which were novel, but had to be dealt with, not only to sustain the business, but also protect the human resource in employment. The pandemic itself exposed the serious gaps in the Labor Act and other laws. And thankfully, we've made some submissions to Parliament, right, on the revision of the Labor Act. And therefore, the knowledge and skills of the practitioner was very critical at the time. Your training should stand you out as leaders and advisors and not followers. Your training should stand you out as leaders and advisors and not followers.
And away from HR professionals, the African Development Bank Board of Directors has approved $75 million commercial loan to the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Now, this fund is expected to help GIFT to undertake big-ticket prospects and projects in the country. There is more in this report. The African Development Bank's loan will enable the Ghanaian state-owned institution to efficiently leverage its paid-in equity capital of $325 million to finance several critical infrastructure projects. It will also reduce the country's estimated multi-billion-dollar infrastructure finance deficit. The African Development Bank described the loan as an important step to anchor the sustainability of a national infrastructure financing vehicle in Ghana. Since 2016, the fund has committed over 88% of its equity investment capital towards several infrastructure projects within the transport, ICT, and affordable housing projects. It has also successfully mobilized over $1 billion of private capital from both domestic and international sources. The African Development Bank support aligns with Ghana's Coordinated Program for Economic and Social Development Policies 2017 to 2024 and Medium-Term National Development Policy Framework, as well as the African Development Bank's 10-year strategy. As of July 2021, the African Development Bank has provided over $3 billion of financing for various projects in Ghana. $600 million of it has been directed towards various road, aviation, and rail transportation projects. And you're still watching The Marketplace. Let's now tell you the story of some creators, because sculpting and painting contribute to tourism sector revenue. However, artists were hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. As the creative art industry bounces back from the effects of the pandemic, Joy business James Eshan visited the Accra Arts and Crafts Center to interact with artists on how things are moving so far.
Tourism as a key economic driver in Ghana. The sector in 2019, according to the World Data Atlas, contributed 3.8 billion Ghana cedis to the GDP we have in the country. We are here at the Art Center in Accra to speak to a sculptor as well as a painter to know what they've been up to. So I have a sculptor here to help me know what he's been up to. When he started, the sales really dipping, or there is an increment in sales, especially after COVID-19. Basically, what are you doing?
This is a carved piece. But this film, it's a lion. Sculpture itself is the making of an abstract form, probably a wood, stone, or anything you can carve. It becomes a sculpture because it's a three-dimension thing that you are projecting. So it's a making of an abstract out of a stone, a wood, or anything carvable.
At what age did you start with this?
A very early age, from my primary ages.
Now let's look at sales in sculpting previous years and currently. When you compare the two, what would you want to tell us about that?
With that, there has been a dip, a slight dip. That is the honest truth. But there are issues to how the whole thing got dipped.
What are some of the issues?
19 is the main issue that is globally, so it's affecting everybody. Because for instance, most of the artworks that we do here are being patronized by the white. But we don't say the white alone, because we have people in here also have money that love art as well. So they also buy it, but the chunk of the patronage comes from the outside world. So after the COVID-19, it looks like it has dipped a bit. So we are having our own slow moment, but for the business itself, it has its own two dimensions. There's a peak season and also there's a lean season. The peak season is somewhere July, August, September, where festivals like come in sequence from the Homo War, name it, any festival at all. So it becomes the peak season. For people, that time people travel to come and have a feel of those festivals. So it's our peak season when it comes to that time. And then the lean season is when they've gone back to their various countries after the September, October there. And it peaks again somewhere in December. So we pray with time, whatever that will help to get things done across the world works in that direction, so that every business all over gets its own fair share.
I would want you to take us through some of the stuff you have in. If you can walk us through, we'll be glad to know what's really out there.
A lion head being carved. So from here we'll do the sanding and then we'll do the final detail, and then we apply the polish before we put them in the shop. So you can go in and have a look at some of the finished product in the shop, as in how things are being done in the finishing.
Sure. So we are going straight in there to look at some of the artworks he's done here at the Art Center, and also look at the prices previously and currently what the prices are.
Type of artwork that comes in the form of symbols that we can be associated and identify with it as Ghanaians, that we can sell the image as Ghana as well. So, but the symbols come with their own meanings. For example, this is Besisaka. When you bring it to the white man's understanding, it means the symbol of wisdom. And then this is a normal symbol everybody know. I know maybe probably every Ghanaian will understand this one. It's called Jinyame, except God. And then this is Nyame Bibi Wasoro, Mamensanka. If God dies, then I may die.
On a normal day, what would be the price of this?
On a normal day, the prices itself comes with the quality of the wood. Because this is a plywood with a veneer on top. It's not as, I'm not saying it's a bad piece, but it's not as quality as this. When you see this wood, for instance, this is also a wood called mahogany. So as you can see, it is in original state of color. It is not a stain type. We just enhance it with a polish. So you see the neutral color of the wood. It has a darker and a lighter shade to it. Yeah, but this is mahogany. But these ones are ebony. They are also equally very good. So some of the prices comes with the quality of the wood. But when we put all the woods together, the strongest wood among them is the ebony, followed by the mahogany. So for instance, if I'm selling this in the form of ebony and the same thing in the form of mahogany, the ebony will sell a bit higher than the mahogany, but they are all equally good wood as well.
So what will be the price?
For this same size of lion in the form of mahogany, I can sell it for 400. That is it. But in the same size for ebony, it's going for 600. That's how it is. That is being stained. This is going for 800. It's been stained.
We'll be speaking to the painter very soon to know what he's also been up to, whether there's also been a dip in the prices of his painting, or better still, there is an increment in the price of the paint works he does. So follow me as we head straight to the painter's shop. So it's an interesting shade here at the art center. I'm sitting right beneath a tree where the painter lodges. So I'll be speaking to him shortly. Afterward, I'll also be trying my hands on some painting. We've seen you doing some paintings and all that. You being a painter, for how long have you been doing this, and at what age did you even start?
I started at the age of 11 years coming. And I upgraded it from 8 years going. I've worked like 21 years or something like that. Yeah.
So now let's look at the business aspect. You've been doing this for some years now. Previously, before COVID-19, after COVID-19, still COVID is in the system though, but it seems for now it seems to be going down a bit. How are the sales those days, and currently what are the sales now?
Honestly speaking, before it was very good, but I don't blame the government for now, because COVID is like all over the world. Yeah, we come down totally, but the business-wise, the business spoiled.
When you say you came down totally, what are some of the factors that contributed to you coming down?
Normally here it's for tourists. The tourists people used to come here and purchase more for us. And because of the COVID-19, they couldn't come in. The last year was very bad. They didn't come at all. But late this year, they start coming one by one. Not like before, but they are coming one by one.
We are taking you to your shop. Then you tell us some of the works you've done. What are the prices? And previously, the prices, and currently, what are the prices are? So we are heading straight to my namesake, that is James's shop, to know the prices of the works he's done so far. I've seen an elephant, and I don't know if that's the baby or something. So for how long did it take you for you to do this?
Okay, roughly 2 days. 2 days. 1.5 days, I would say 2 days here to complete it.
And I've seen another elephant here with some hats here and some ladies here.
These are warriors, African warriors. Yes, African warriors. Yeah. This is a village in northern part of Ghana. A village in the northern part of Ghana with the tree of life. For instance, this one, when you are purchasing more, I will give it to you for 120, by singles 150. Previously, we sell it more than that. We normally sell it more than, because of the system is down now. We have to come down for customers to be able to purchase it.
What we have here, the big ones, I think this is bigger than this, and I think this is also bigger than this, or they are basically the same price. Okay, and how much is this?
This one, for instance, is 600.
Wow.
Yeah, 600.
600.
Yeah.
And what about this?
That one is 700.
So you could see some interesting painting works down here. So you could see, I think, 2 girls here, also with some summer hats and all that all over here. So these are some of the interesting feedbacks we've been getting from folks here at the Art Center. We earlier spoke to Emmanuel Owusu to know how the sculpting business is, what they've been really making out of the sculpting business. We have James here who also took us through the sales they make out of this the business, or the painting business he's also been doing here. Well, so basically, I still not know what I'm doing. Probably there's an abstract here. Don't crucify me for this. But when I spoke to Emmanuel, who is a sculptor, and James, who is a painter, they tell us that the job or the painting and sculpting business previously was really booming. We are looking forward to some good sales here for these painters as well as these sculptors. For Joy Business, James Ishen.
And that was James Ishen there, gauging the impact of COVID on the creative sector. We now take you to the Accra International Conference Centre. The EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair enters the second day with a lot of juicy packages up for grabs. Today at the International Conference Centre, we threw the spotlight on household accessories on display. JoyNews reporter Hannah Odama is on the ground for us and joins us live with details. So Hannah, what can you report? You've been there for quite a while now.
Hello, Charles. I can tell you that there are so many juicy offers here. You will even find it difficult to make a choice. But one thing is that you will definitely leave here smiling because you will get everything you need for your housing needs under one roof. Now, there's a debate whether to buy or to build. Don't worry. We're going to tell you a lot from our sponsors and our exhibitors, and after we have spoken to them, you'll be able to make a choice. If you want to build, for instance, there are some accessories you need, and today we're going to focus on them this afternoon. I have with me here with Pora Ventures. They are going to tell us about those dump that you have been seeing on your walls. They have a solution for you. Tell us that kind of solution.
Right. So this is Pora Ventures, damp-proof company. We provide an effective damp-proofing solution whereby we ask everybody to use what we call the damp-proof membrane like this, or the damp-proof courses in the form of this. These are very effective, whereby when used at the start of the build, your building is guaranteed and will never suffer from this. So buildings that are having this issue of rising damp, we are able to fix it. But this time around, we will introduce this back into the building. So putting this back into the building will stop the capillary action taking place. This, in addition to this chemical that we have, is called the Pora Cap 10. It's a highly, highly waterproof chemical that when we use to do the plastering, you'll never see this effect anymore.
And you can only get this when you come to the JoyNews Habitat Fair. You wouldn't want to build and then have moisture destroying your walls. Let's come here and go to Aki's Home Decor. Oh wow, beautiful sink I see here. What exactly are you offering, my lady?
Okay, so Aki's Home Decor is a sanitary brand where we are into sales of WCs, baths, and other sanitary wares, such as faucets, taps, and any other thing. So we sell bathtubs. So we have the P-shape, we have luxury brands, we have anything for anybody. At Anki's, even a normal layman can buy from here. Yeah. So this you see here, it's a basin that comes with a half pedestal, which is very affordable. We have items for everybody. Anybody who walks in here can buy. Something that may be cheap to someone may be expensive to someone. So at Anki's, any single person can buy from here. As little as we have WCs that ranges from prices of 300 cedis all the way to 30,000, depending on the features they come with. Our products come with 10-year warranty, and our faucets and taps are coated with the mineral called chrome. And with that, they don't corrode and they don't rust as well. So our WCs and basins also do not change in color. We have some cases you buy from others and the colors are changing, but with ours, with a 10-year warranty, even within the span of 10 years, when something breaks up, we can still change it for you.
That is what Anki's Ventures is offering you, and you definitely have to ensure that you are here. Now, after you are done with Anki's Ventures, you definitely have to get some paints. And I have with me here this sales representative from which organization, please?
MBA Group, please.
MBA. What are you offering us?
So we are into safety and environment consultancy, but we also now have diversified into paints. Yeah. So we have paints like damp-proof paints, acrylic paints, floor paints, and marine paints and varnish paints. So to meet any kind of need, you can just come to our stand. And one thing about paints is they last and they do not fade. So we are also contractors that we can also paint your buildings within 3 days. Okay, so anytime you have any building for commercial and residential buildings. We can paint your buildings within 3 days. So you can rush to our stand right now. And you can also go to, for convenience, you can go to our website, www.mbashoponline.com. And you can also make payments through our e-commerce platform. Yeah.
Because I know you are offering discounts, I'd rather choose to come here.
Exactly.
And I am sure that after you have done all of this, you need insurance. And so I'm going to have Holland Insurance tell us what they are offering prospective homeowners as well as everyone who comes here, right? Tell us, what do you have on board?
Thank you. My name is Andy, Business and Development. We have at Holland, we insure everything. Once you love it, we insure it. And why we are here today is because of the home and contents insurance. So this is not just for homeowners, but also if you rent, we insure your electronics, your personal effects and everything. We do all that, yeah.
All right, and so the JoyNews EcoBank Habitat Fair is going on at the Accra International Conference Center, and you don't want to miss out on any deal here. And so just come around and you shall be sorted out.
Indeed, Hannah, we're so grateful that you could help us, have a little bit of appetite. The reason to, visit the Accra International Conference Center now. If you're on a lunch break, just drive through to the conference center to get yourself updated. And of course, also appreciate of so many, products that are on offer there. We're talking about the massive discounts, of course, and also the durable products at the Accra International Conference Center. I need not talk much. Just go there and find things out for yourself. That's how we end this edition of The Marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. Enjoy the rest of our bulletin.